Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Sunday, May 30th, 2021. Fox report: Netanyahu could be ousted as Israeli Prime Minister as rival moves toward unity deal. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in hot water after the leader of the small Yamina party said he would join with Netanyahu's opponents to oust the country's longtime leader. Sunday's announcement by Yamina party leader Naftali Bennett is a key step toward ending Netanyahu's 12-year rule. In a nationally televised news conference, Bennett said he would work to form a unity government with opposition Yair Lapid.
BBC report: France rejects Iranian spy charges for tourist Benjamin Briere. Benjamin Briere, 35, was arrested last year in Iran after flying a drone near the Iran-Turkmenistan border. On Sunday, Iranian prosecutors charged him with espionage, which is punishable by death if he is convicted. A French Foreign Ministry statement said it knew of nothing that could back up the accusations. It said that Mr. Briere was on holiday in the country when he was arrested in May 2020. The charges come at a time of rising tensions between Iran and European countries and the U.S. over Iran's nuclear capacity.
Fox report: Israel, Egypt talk truce with Hamas, rebuilding Gaza Strip. Egypt and Israel held high-level talks in both countries Sunday to shore up a fragile truce between Israel and the Hamas militant group and rebuild the Gaza Strip after a punishing 11-day war that left parts of the seaside enclave in ruins. Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry received his Israeli counterpart, Gabi Ashkenazi, in Cairo on Sunday as part of Egypt's efforts to revive the Mideast peace process and to build on the ceasefire in Gaza, the Egyptian Foreign Ministry said.
CNN report: Democratic lawmaker calls Texas voting bill shameful, and says GOP wants to make it easier to steal an election. New York Rep. Hakeem Jeffries on Sunday criticized the restrictive voting bill moving through the Texas legislature as shameful, saying the legislation and efforts from Republicans in other states to impose strict election measures amount to a voter suppression epidemic. Well, the Texas law is shameful and Republicans clearly in Texas and throughout the country want to make it harder to vote and easier to steal an election. That is the only way that I could interpret the voter suppression epidemic that we see working its way from one state, Georgia, to Arizona to Texas and all across the country in so many different ways.
Fox report: Tennessee authorities find human remains in plane crash that killed Christian diet guru. Investigators have recovered human remains and components of an aircraft that crashed in a Tennessee lake Saturday morning with 7 people on board, including a Christian diet guru and local church founder. Rutherford County Fire Rescue Capt. John Ingle said Sunday that recovery efforts were ongoing at Percy Priest Lake near Smyrna, about 25 miles southeast of Nashville, and that multiple agencies are assisting in the investigation.
Al Jazeera report: Families displaced by DRC volcano decry lack of government support. The government of the Democratic Republic of the Congo is facing criticism over a growing humanitarian crisis in the east of the country as thousands of people who fled Goma after a volcanic eruption lack shelter, food, and drinking water. Mount Nyiragongo erupted on May 22, sending lava streaming down a hillside, which left a trail of destruction and killed dozens of people. Nearly 400,000 people in Goma, the capital of North Kivu province in the eastern DRC, have had to flee.
Deutsche Welle report: West African leaders meet to discuss Mali coup. State leaders from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, took part in an urgent summit on Sunday to discuss the political crisis in Mali. Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo hosted the talks in the Ghanaian capital Accra after Mali's constitutional court named Colonel Assimi Goïta as the country's new president. Goïta, who sparked outrage after detaining the country's transitional president and prime minister on Monday, arrived in Accra on Saturday for preliminary talks.
CNN report: Parents of detained journalist in Myanmar. It's a total nightmare. The parents of an American journalist detained in Myanmar have a message for local authorities: release him now. It's a total nightmare. It's a total feeling of no control. It's heart-wrenching, said Rose Fenster, mother of Frontier Myanmar editor Danny Fenster, on CNN's Reliable Sources, Sunday. I just want my son home no matter what it takes. Please release him and send him home to his family.
Deutsche Welle report: Danish Secret Service helped U.S. spy on Germany's Angela Merkel. Report: Denmark's Secret Service helped the U.S. National Security Agency, NSA, to spy on European leaders, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel and President Frank-Walter Steinmeier. A European media investigation published on Sunday revealed the disclosure that the U.S. had been spying on its allies first started coming to light in 2013, but it is only now that journalists have gained access to reports detailing the support given to the NSA by the Danish Defense Intelligence Service, FE.
CNN report. Gillibrand calls on Schumer to bring vote on bill to change how military sexual assault cases are prosecuted. Democratic Sen. Kirsten Gillibrand on Sunday called on Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to bring to the floor a vote on a bipartisan bill that would overhaul the way the U.S. military responds to sexual assault cases. I believe we should have a vote now. It is a hallmark bill, a generational bill of shifting how we address military justice, how we build the military justice system that's worthy of the sacrifice our men and women in the military make, Gillibrand told CNN's Jake Tapper on State of the Union, when asked if she thinks Schumer should bring the bill to a floor vote.
Fox report. New Jersey veteran receives new smart home from 9/11 charity. A 9/11 charity left a New Jersey veteran absolutely speechless when it gifted him a home Thursday. Marine SGT Aaron Alonso stepped on an improvised explosive device in Afghanistan in 2014, losing his legs but beating the sub-1% chance he had of surviving at all. When he did get home, life was never going to be the same. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation, T2T, noted in 2019 that it would begin building Alonso a new smart home in the township of Hampton.
BBC report. Barcelona. Homophobic attacks spark outcry. The Observatory Against Homophobia, OC, said 5 gay men had been injured in 3 separate attacks. In the most serious incident, a man needed facial surgery after he and his friends were attacked on a beach. Police are investigating but have not made any arrests, local media reported. Local politicians took to social media to condemn the attacks. OC President Eugeni Rodriguez said the incident on Barcelona's Somorrostro beach involved 2 gay couples who were set upon by 3 men.
Al Jazeera report. South Africa faces third COVID wave, returns to stricter lockdown. President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced that South Africa is to reimpose stricter measures against COVID-19, fearing the whole country will soon face a third wave of the pandemic. 4 of the nation's 9 provinces, including Gauteng, which includes Johannesburg and Pretoria and has the biggest population, are already battling a third wave of infections, Ramaphosa said on Sunday. It may only be a matter of time before the country as a whole will have entered a third wave, he said.
CNN report. London police seize $7 million after spotting man struggling to carry bags stuffed with cash. London's Metropolitan Police seized £5 million, $7 million, in cash, the largest amount ever taken by the capital's police force, after police noticed a man struggling to carry bags stashed full of money. Authorities said that on June 5, Ruslan Shamsuddinov was spotted exiting an address in Fulham, southwest London, and was noticeably struggling to carry heavy bags, which he put in a nearby parked car.
Deutsche Welle report. Ethiopia. Rallies denounce Western intervention over Tigre. Thousands of Ethiopians on Sunday gathered in their capital, Addis Ababa, to protest international pressure on the government over the conflict in Tigre. Last week, the United States introduced restrictions on economic and security assistance to Ethiopia to press for the resolution of the crisis. Demonstrators packed a stadium for the pro-government rally, criticizing the U.S. and denouncing Western intervention.
Al Jazeera report. A doctor's oath and occupied Palestine. 11 years ago, Dr. Ritika Goel took an oath. Part symbolic ritual, part solemn commitment. It is the Hippocratic oath that doctors have been obliged to recite for millennia. Dr. Goel, a Toronto family physician and teacher, has made it plain throughout her career that every word of that oath imbues her every deed as a healer. Beyond her fidelity to the oath's more familiar aspects, Dr. Goel, by all accounts, has always kept this lesser-known instruction front of mind. I will remember that I remain a member of society, with special obligations to all my fellow human beings.
BBC report. Colombia protests. UN calls for investigation into Cali deaths. The city has been the epicenter of protests against President Ivan Duque, and 14 people are reported to have died in recent days. Michelle Bachelet said those responsible should be held accountable. On Saturday, President Duque deployed troops in Cali to quell the unrest. Streets in the city were reported to be deserted after the military intervention. However, demonstrators in the capital, Bogotá, vowed to hold rallies on Sunday to demand an end to police violence.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.